Alright, so I'm trying to platinum over 130 of the best single-player story games ever made that were suggested by viewers of the channel. And if I can't do it before hitting 800,000 subscribers, I will yet again lose another platinum challenge, so make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Need for Speed, Cargo Vroom, Car Crash. Why is Jesse Pinkman here? What is going on? Need for Speed 2015, a game that everyone wishes never existed and can't stop looking at. This is the only Need for Speed game to date that is primarily a single-player game. Usually Need for Speed implements a little bit of online play into their games because it's more fun that way, but this one went the complete opposite direction into a single-player story. And I'm playing it today for the platinum, mostly because it's also the only Need for Speed game that has 0 online trophies, which is kind of shocking. Almost as shocking as how bad this game is. But the platinum trophy for Need for Speed has a total of 31 trophies and one very stupid trophy. But that's less than usual, so let's begin the mind-numbing display of absolute uselessness called a video game. Need for Speed first opens with a wondrous high-quality cinematic, and you're probably shocked right now because this looks just like real life, which is because it is. Yeah, this game has like movie cutscenes and it's honestly weird. So no, this isn't video game people. These are legit actors and real people. Yeah, they're real people. But anyways, we talk about car stuff and got invited to a car meet. But before going there, I accidentally took a screenshot in this game because I was pressing every button on my controller to see what they all do. And I got a trophy, which is definitely something. We then went to the car meet that we got invited to, and this dude taking us around is named Spike. He's a trust fund baby who went to the dark side. But aside from that, he just showed us off to everyone, and we got a tour of the game's garage and characters we do missions for. Yes, you heard me right, missions. This game has a certain amount of missions for every main character in it. The missions are just races, by the way, but they vary from drift, sprint, and timed. I think that's all of them, I can't remember. Basically, for every story trophy you have to do, you gotta do numerous races for the certain person before quote-unquote mastering their skill set and becoming an icon, as the game calls it. But you know what's also iconic? The classic Need for Speed game crash. Now that's iconic, baby. Anyways, back in the game after my first crash of the day, I just had to drive to the garage where we store all of our cars in. And once I made it there and whipped out the popcorn to watch this game's movie they call cutscenes, I got the trophy from acquiring the garage. My next trophy was then gotten once I won 3 events in a row, and the 3 races I did for this were all sprint races for Spike because he is the first character that gives you races to do in general. This is because his are the most basic and just consist of you driving as fast as you can. Some would say you even need speed to win these, but once I did win the first 3, I got a trophy from it, as I said previously. I then realized about 30 minutes later that the car the game gave me for free is completely balls, so I decided to upgrade it, and I just got another free car in the garage. I honestly don't know why this car is free, but it was much better than the one I had, so I'm not complaining, and I even got a trophy from it, so that's cool. I also added parts and tuned that car a little bit during my time in the garage, so on the very next event I did, I won, and it gave me a trophy for winning an event using a tuned car, which I was unaware even existed. However, that's fine with me. I then just continued on racing because that is all you do in Need for Speed, and that's pretty obvious. I think we all expected that. But once I reached rep level 10, this is just the level of your person in the game, it gave me a trophy for reaching that glorious level marker. I then got my first trophy from a certain character in the game, and it was from the crew storyline. These are literally just normal racing events, except they have a little group of people next to the logo. And once you complete enough of them, you reach an important moment and watch a special movie cutscene with this baddie. Smash. And here's the trophy from that. My next one was from another storyline, this time the style storyline. And I got it pretty quickly after the previous one because I was trying my best to play all of the events evenly as to not leave one at the beginning and have to go back after I finished all the others, because that would just be rude. You gotta take turns if you know what I'm saying. But I got this trophy after we talked to the guy in charge of the style storyline. You can tell he is because of his great style. I mean, just look at that hair. It looks like deep fried Oreos glued onto the top of his head. How magnificent. My next trophy was from Amy this time, who has the most basic storyline, I would say. And not only because it's called the Amy storyline, but rather because her objectives are more based around your car rather than any high-speed races. Meaning most of them just have you needing to upgrade the vehicle in order to even play a race, without really needing to win them in general. But I got a trophy once I completed a certain event that required a high horsepower car, and once completing it, I got the trophy. There was then a trophy I got after called Choo Choo from doing a drift event with a certain crew called the Risky Devil Crew. This is called Choo Choo, by the way, because some drift events require you to be up close to the other cars to score points, meaning you kind of have to ride them like a BMW and they can't tell you no. I then spent a very long time without getting any more trophies because we sort of finished all the beginning storyline trophies in the game. So we do kind of have to strap in and grind out some races before getting getting any more of them. But my next one came from the speed storyline, which is in my personal opinion the only fun one in the game, since they don't try to do anything crazy aside from us having to drive really fast, and it's great. Eventually this dude named Magnus came into the picture, and he just served as more story to the speed storyline because Spike is a very one-dimensional character, and the developers at EA ran out of things for him to have us to do. But I had to beat Magnus's time in a certain time trial that was quote-unquote hard to do, and once I did it, I got this trophy. Next trophy I got was another simple level 1, and don't we just love games that have level trophies? Yeah, here's that trophy. I don't know where I'm going with that. But this game did keep on going with the Magnus story within the speed stuff, and I just sort of grinded those out because I kept on getting new events from the guy and was getting a bit tired of hearing him call me asking to race. So I just grinded those out, ignoring everything else in this game, and I ended up beating one of his challenges for me. Turns out he isn't as fast as everyone says, and I got this trophy from diminishing his self-esteem. And much later, I had ended up collecting quite a few cars because this game occasionally gives you some for certain races and racing requirements, which pushed me into having a full garage. Kind of weird how a car game has a limit on cars you can have, but I expect nothing else from this saddening cash grab. And there was also a trophy from getting a full garage, by the way. I would finally reach the ending of the speed playlist and do the last mission, which gave me a trophy after I finished it, but the finale consisted of us just doing an extremely long race while using Magnus's personal car, which is a Porsche, and I suddenly have grown to love Magnus more than before. Once I won the event, I got the trophy, and that's the conclusion to the speed playlist. I also got a trophy right after from getting called out by 50 racers in the game. This just means when you finish a race, someone gives you a little message on your screen with some rep added to it. And it happens in almost every single race for some reason, so yeah, it's a pretty easy trophy, and here it is. Next up, I decided to finish out the crew storyline because it's a very simple one and didn't take me too much longer to do. Most of these races for the crew just had us race with other characters or drift with them also. Essentially, it was just a big team building experience, and it was great, so here's that trophy. I then got back into the style storyline, and I had some interesting events with people from real life cameoed into it, but the first trophy here was from me finishing an event from a dude named Ken, and I'm also pretty sure this is the same dude who was the drifting legend in real life that sadly passed away recently. Rest in peace, you bloody legend. Anyways, my next trophy wasn't from the style series, but actually from Amy's again, and I got it right after I did a cool drifting event, and I gotta say, regardless of the drifting in this game being super unrealistic, it is also super fun and simple to figure out, so I gotta give that to the game at least. But yeah, anyways, here's the trophy from just doing another event in this storyline. My next trophy was then from becoming a build icon, and I'm not gonna lie, the build series was so fast and easy compared to the others that when they threw me a party for accomplishing this, I felt like I didn't deserve it, but that's okay because I still got the trophy. And I also got the icon trophy from becoming the style icon next, which was in similar fashion. They threw me a party, cool person, and another trophy pop. This game deadass be running off of joy just like the Kamala Harris campaign. Anyways, my last storyline I had left was now the Outlaws one. This storyline is kind of hard to begin because it requires you to first mess around with the cops in this game, and they can be a bit tricky to both find and also escape. But after I did enough storyline missions for the Outlaws, I got a trophy from it, and here it is. I then had to prove myself with more events until, proving myself to the Outlaws, and we would go on to get a cutscene meeting with the Outlaw. Turns out it was just this dude named Travis, who was also the leader of the crew in general. And no game, I'm not surprised, that was pretty damn predictable. But I did end up reaching near the end of the Outlaw races, and Dream 1, I was sending it as hard as I could in order to win, and I ended up just destroying my car and probably my life in the process. In fact, the crash was so bad I managed to do a ton of point-giving actions while floating in the air towards heaven that I got the perfect moment trophy. I then just completed the Outlaw series of races and became an Outlaw icon next, and it followed the same formula as all the other icon trophies, so here it is. Now before the final trophy of the story, I had to do a few more special races, as they say, and not like actually special needs if you're wondering, but once I did complete them, I watched the final movie cutscene, saw some credits, skipped them because obviously, and here is the final story trophy. So now it's time for stage 2, which is to clean up the game. The cleanup is actually super simple, but there is one trophy from daily challenges which takes around 5 to 7 days to do, and is the reason I didn't get this video done and posted around 3 days ago. So that's a bit annoying, but it's whatever. What are you gonna do about it, you know? Anyways, the first trophy I got was from tuning a car to the max, which is easy. You just slide the tune bar all the way over. I then got another one from reaching rep level 50, which is a bit of a grind after the story. However, you do get pretty high levels just from playing the game, so it wasn't horrible, and I just repeated events over and over until leveling to 50 right here and getting the trophy. But with that new level 50 mark, I can now go buy the highest level of gear for my car in every category, and I did that, which also gave me a trophy from maxing out my car's performance. I then just had to wait for the daily challenges to reset and complete my last 2 to reach 15, so I did that. It was easy, and here's that final trophy along with the platinum trophy pop. That was the Need for Speed Platinum Trophy experience. I gotta say, that game was severely mid in terms of the story and just overall. The driving was okay in my opinion, but then again, there was also like 0 cars you could actually drive, which is kind of weird considering this is a damn car game. But anyways, I'm gonna give Need for Speed a solid 4 out of 10. The cutscenes honestly just ruined it for me. Like, I don't even know what that was. Also, thank you all so much for 690,000 subscribers. I know if you guys follow me on Instagram or check my community tab, you would have seen I posted some stuff about it and the tattoo punishment because I failed the Ubisoft challenge. But I am currently setting up my appointment to go get that, and once I do, I'll post a picture of it probably on my Instagram for you guys to see. So yeah, that's basically it, and I'll see you guys soon with more Platinum Trophy content. Big black balls.